Hi there, it's Bike Tour Mike here, and I'm currently on a bike tour here in Tuscany, Italy, and I'm just now camped outside of San Gimignano, a beautiful hilltop town, and I'm just about to hit the road and go there and discover the town. But before I do so, I thought I'd show you all the things that I'm bringing on this tour. So hopefully you can get some tips on what to bring yourself if you were ever to do a tour here in Tuscany or Italy. So if we start with my bike first, this is my Kona Sutra. I have two of these large Ortlieb panniers and also have an Ortlieb handlebar bag up front here. My helmet, this is a Euro Fixture MIPS helmet. I also have 3 water bottles, but you could easily get away with just having 2 of these, since in almost every town here in Tuscany there are water fountains with drinking water, so you're able to refill your water. So if we start off with the rear panniers, these ones are actually new from Ortlieb this year. These ones are 35 liters instead of the usual 20 liters. But you're still able to roll them down as you do with normal Ortlieb panniers, so you could essentially make this into a 20-liter model if you choose so. And these ones differ a bit from the regular rear panniers, since you have this outer pocket here, and this one is really roomy, so I store my flip-flops in here, plus a bunch of other miscellaneous things, plastic bags and such. If we open up the big compartment, in here I have my rain jacket and rain pants. Taking rain pants on a tour here in Italy where it's almost 30 degrees every day was a bad move. I think I've used these for about 5 minutes during the whole trip, and I could just easily have gone without them. So these ones I'm leaving at home next time around. A rain jacket is always nice to have, but the same thing here, when you're cycling around in 30 degrees heat, having a rain jacket on just makes everything a bit hot inside. So then I have my first packing cube, and this is my riding clothes. I just have a spare t-shirt and a spare pair of socks. Second packing cube contains my off the bike clothes. So I have a t-shirt, I have a pair of long pants with removable legs, so I can turn these ones into shorts. I have a nice shirt for going out to the restaurant in the evening. And I also have this warm merino wool long sleeve jersey. And this was probably overkill as well. The nights here are about 15 degrees or just above. I could have just as easily been sleeping in my t-shirt instead of the long merino wool jersey. Then I have a camp towel, and this one is really nice since it's quite big, but it folds down really well, and it also dries really quick. Usually when I take a shower in the afternoon or evening, if I just hang this up in a tree, it's dry in about an hour or so. Then I have some food here, which I'm not gonna talk about too much. I also brought this high visible jacket, which I thought I was going to need going through tunnels and such, but I've just gone through maybe 1 or 2 tunnels so far, and I didn't even bother taking it on at that time. I just used my bike lights instead, and I was fine. So this could be easily left at home. Next I have a collapsible mug, which is great for drinking a couple of glasses of wine in the evening. Takes up barely no space at all. And lastly, in the bottom here, I just have my tools and spare things. So I'm bringing a bike pump, repair kit, multi-tool, chain lube, and a spare tube. Plus, in the bottom of this bag, I also have all the packaging that I'm gonna need when I'm flying back home again. I usually transfer my bike in a CTC plastic bag instead of a bike box, which makes it easier for me when I fly home, that I don't have to run around town looking for a bike box. So maybe this much of the pannier is just packaging for my bike. So I've just switched around my bike, and now I'm gonna go through my right rear pannier. So in the outer pocket here, I just have my bike lock. And with these outer pockets, I also store food that I pick up along the way. So this one is really roomy. Or I could use this if I have something wet that I don't want to keep inside of the pannier, so it can dry out while I ride during the day. So if we open up the big compartment, here I have my toiletries, and these are basically your typical things: toothpaste, toothbrush, sunscreen, lenses, and so on. Then I have my tent. This is a Nature Hike Cloud Up 2 tent, which, even though it's a two-person tent, is great for me being just one, since I can basically have all my belongings inside of the tent and not leave anything out on the bike when I'm camping in these campgrounds. I have a collapsible backpack, which I store my drone and drone batteries in, so when I'm going to a supermarket, I can easily just grab this one and take it inside, because I don't want to leave this out on the bike when I go into supermarkets. This heavy thing is containing all of my electronics, basically power banks, cables, battery chargers, and so on. Another thing you might want to consider getting if you're planning on staying in campgrounds here in Italy or other places in Europe is one of these adapters. Since the normal European socket is not used in campgrounds, they have this other one instead, basically so you can plug in RVs and caravans directly into the wall socket. So you need to have one of these adapters. Here you have the normal European socket instead. And this is pretty lightweight. I think this weighs around 100 grams, so it's not a big issue bringing this along. And you can pick one of these up for about 5 or 10 euros. Then I have another thing that's really important to bring along, and that is a bottle opener for wine bottles. What would I do without this one? After that, I have my sleeping bag. This is an Aegis Max ultralight down sleeping bag, which compacts really nicely down to this small size. I have a C2 Summit inflatable pillow. I have a C2 Summit Comfort Plus insulated sleeping pad. Find some wet wipes down here, always good to have. And lastly but not least, a pair of swim trunks. Plus one last thing that's really important. If you're thinking about swimming in the pools here in the campgrounds in Italy, you need to bring one of these swim caps, or you can buy them at the campground for about 2 euros. So you can't really swim in the pool without wearing these. So you kind of look like a dork when you're swimming. I'm just gonna show you so you can have a laugh at me. So this is what people look like in Italy when they go for a swim. If we just go through the belongings in my handlebar bag, I have a pair of sunglasses, my phone, a GoPro camera, plus the camera that I'm filming this on, my Canon G7X. Usually I store in here as well. I have some Samsung Galaxy Buds. Just important things such as my passport, my COVID pass, and some money as well. If I were to change something with the gear that I brought along, I would definitely get rid of the rain pants, perhaps keep the rain jacket, get rid of the merino wool long jersey, and perhaps one of my water bottles. One thing I wish I would have taken with me was a lantern. I have my bike lights, but they're really not that powerful when you want to light a whole tent in the evening. It gets pretty dark here during the evening and the night, and it would have been nice to have some sort of light when you want to do some reading or just having control of all of your things inside of your tent. So I hope you learned something about the things that I've brought with me on my bike tour here in Tuscany, Italy. And if you want to watch the latest video from this bike tour, you can do so by clicking the link up in the corner here. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one.